Rachel here from Beads by Rachel, bringing you a live tutorial on how to use ribbon ends with ribbon and faux suede in particular. So as always, please do give me a thumbs up and do pop me a note in the comments so I know you were present. So I'm going to show you some samples to give you some food for thought as to what you can use the ribbon ends for. I'm just going to show you some resin pendant samples first of all. These are two separate ones. This is with faux suede. I've got what we call a little hanger here. This is a gold leaf clear resin, and this one is also showing you, well, what do you do when you haven't got a jump ring that's wide enough to go through the hole with the width of the pendant. So I'll show you how you can make a little beaded loop. With this one, this has got some red copper ribbon ends. On this one, I couldn't find a jump ring big enough to go through all of the ribbon. So I found a T-bar and just used the O part of the T-bar and attached it to the pendant. Again, you've got some ribbon ends with an extender, and I've overlapped with this one. It's reversible. You've got some satin ribbon and organza ribbon. If you like doing your bead embroidery projects and you're at a bit of a loss what to combine it with, and perhaps you want something to just enhance the colour of the bead embroidery, this is one that I've done. Again, I love labradorite. This is, can you see they're called flash labradorite. I've got this PDF pattern as well online. Two tones, one satin, one organza, with the ribbon ends on that one. This one again is a really bold statement piece with a piece of sodalite gemstone, a satin ribbon and some ribbon ends. Now the first tutorial I'm going to do is with some faux leather. It's always a good idea to know what the thickness is so that you can buy ribbon ends that work alongside that. I'm going to show you how you use the hanger. I'm going to show you how you connect a larger jump ring into your pendant, and also how we attach the clasps. I find it easier to attach the clasps to your ribbon ends first of all. The only two tools that you need are flat nose pliers, otherwise called parallel, and chain nose pliers. Let's zoom in. A resin piece that's quite thick that I did, and I want to actually pop it on one of these hangers, and I need a jump ring that's big enough to go through it. These are 10mm jump rings. So first of all, we're going to attach the hanger and the jump ring together. We want our parallel pliers in our left hand, our chain nose pliers in the right. Now you want the slit of the jump ring at 12 o'clock, and then we're going to gently ease that open with a rocking action, but you need this one quite far open because this is quite a deep pendant. I pop that on there, and we're also going to pop the hanger on there as well, and then we're going to close that by using the same rocking action. Cut the faux suede to the length you want, taking into account the clasp ends. Now when I said let's get the clasp ends done first, this is what I mean. These are 3mm thick, and these just fit in nicely. What I've got here is two smaller jump rings. You could just have a jump ring one end, but I've got some extender chain, so if you're making it for someone, at least you've got some room for adjustment. We're going to open up one of the finer jump rings and open that up. I'm going to pop on one of the ribbon ends. We're going to pop on a clasp. So you'll have a clasp one end, bring that back, For the other end, I'm attaching the open jump ring, the extender chain. I've got all of those components ready to go. Now on this one, I'm not going to add any glue, but you can do if you want it a little bit more secure. I'm going to pop that in there, but I want it to overlap slightly this end. Hook my nail under there just to stabilise it. And it can be a little bit fiddly. I tend to wrap that round my finger like so I've got a good tension on there. You want your parallel pliers and hold them at an angle. I'm going to fold that. I'm sealing one end, you see that? Personally, I find it easier to turn it the other way. I get it at a slight angle and you want to just overlap those two ends slightly. There you've got a really nice neat finish. If you want to, you can just trim that off. Now don't forget, before you do the other end, add on your pendant, because you won't get the end on. We've got that one end, added this on, and I always like to make sure that I get them the same side. Follow the same process, and this is the one with the extender. I find it easier. Can you see how I'm just getting that at an angle? And squeeze down. And then I turn it round, if you can just see that. And squeeze, and there we have the other side. Have our two ribbon ends. Okay, there you've got the resin pendant, you've got the gold hanger, you've got the jump ring there, and then at the back you've got your ribbon ends. But what I'm going to show you next is doing a double ribbon. I've got a grey and a turquoise organza. I'm going to show you how you actually do a seed bead loop on that as well. We're just going to zoom in. These are thicker ribbon ends. These are the 15mm. So I'm going to open my jump ring and I'm going to add it to one end and a clasp. Like I say, it's just so much easier to do it this way around. Close that up, and then on the other side, open that up. Nearly forgot the extender clasp. It's not essential to have the extender clasp. You know, you could just have a couple of jump rings or a single jump ring. There, we've got that ready. I've got my cocktail stick and I'm going to pop the E6000 and just gently line that in the inside. This really ensures that you don't lose the ribbon, because it's so fine that it could quite easily come out. There we go. Right, so with your good old flat nose pliers, start by squeezing the ribbon ends, because you've got these little teeth on the ribbon ends. Now, that's what you're aiming to do. Can you see that you've actually got these little teeth on this side? Now, if you've got bits poking out at the side, what I'd recommend you do is with your cocktail stick, just push that in there. That's the one ribbon end. Popping that in there. You want to make sure that it's not twisted as well. and that you've got the ends the same way. There we go. And like I say, if you need to pop any excess bits. Now if you've got ribbon ends that are slightly smaller, with this one, you could just fold them over. You see how I folded that over? You can get them to fit that way as well. Our ribbon ends on that one. Now to finish off our necklace, I'm just going to show you how we make a little attachment for that one. That's the example piece. I've got bead weaving thread, this is KO. I've got a size 10 beading needle, and these are size 10 seed beads. I've cut less than 1 metre of thread, and I'm just holding on to the tail. So you want enough where you won't scrunch up your ribbon, going through the hole, tie both ends together, I would suggest that you reinforce by going all the way back round them with your needle. If you've done any bead weaving before, what I would suggest is that you do the same as other projects. So go in between 2 beads and tie a knot in 2 to 3 different places. I'd also do the same with your tail, but for speed today I'm just going to cut it off so that I can actually show you what the finished piece looks like. So we've got a nice little loop on that. And there we've got our attachment. I think the 2 ribbons just contrast really well, and you've got really nice neat ribbon ends there as well. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Bye.